Hello and welcome to the University of Georgia Lacrosse YouTube channel, where we have an excellent game here today as the number 11 Georgia Bulldogs host the number 9 Florida State Seminoles here in Athens, Georgia. I'm Ren Grimsley, joined by Ron Sir. We have a great game here for you today. We saw a matchup between these two teams earlier in the season, also here in Athens, technically here in Watkinsville. And in that game, we saw Florida State come out on top 19-11, so another matchup here and a rematch for Georgia.
Weather day looking a little sunny mixed with some clouds. We got a lot of wind, so hopefully these wind muffs do their jobs on the mic today. We're stationed pretty nice here at half field. We got around 4 minutes till game time, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with your first half action.
So we're here for the face-off here. It will be Riley Wilson on the face-off for Georgia. And Ferber on the face-off for Florida State. And we are a go here in Athens, Georgia, between the Bulldogs and the Seminoles. A big check there from Johnson. Finally gets released out into the box and picked up by the defender, Chapman, for Florida State. Florida State's first offensive possession. Looking for a quick transition push here. The long pole shoots and scores. Early on the board. That was Schiffel netting one in, no one on him on that backside, and in transition, Florida State able to net one in. Making it 1-0 game, only 30 seconds in. This time face-off won by Riley Wilson of Georgia, taking a big check, getting across midfield, and settling it down with the attack. Georgia moving it around the offense. Halloran on that wing, setting up the dodge. Moving it to Kavanaugh now here, looking to take a shot down the alley, moving it down to X. So Kevin Edwards setting up a dodge, working down his left alley, cutting back. Paolo to Alman. And now getting stripped there is McLaughlin by the defender, Schiffel. And a turnover there from Georgia. It's heading the other way with Florida State. Schiffel with the ball across midfield. So the Seminoles taking their time on offense. So a flag down here early. So the penalty will be on number 22, Walker Goodsight, for illegal contact to the head area. He will serve 1 minute right here in front of us. So the man-up shot there going wide and out. First man-up opportunity we've seen from either of these teams this game. Florida State moving a wheel. Here's a shot there, saved by Hoffman. It will reset the shot clock, and Florida State will pick it up.
20.
About 20 seconds to go on the penalty. Can't handle the pass there is Zeman. We know he's a problem for this Florida State offense. And that time a pass can't quite connect. Does not quite roll out of bounds. But with about 4 seconds to go on the penalty. And it is released, and we are even here. There's a shot there that goes wide and out of bounds. And Hoffman there winning the chase. Some momentum in the positive direction for Georgia here, as they have a nice man-down penalty kill. Carrying it across midfield, that's Quinn Kavanaugh. So Georgia settling it down now, working on the dodge. Here's McLaughlin, his shot going wide, right off the stick. McMahon, the goalie for Florida State, now with Ryan Alman. He'll work over the top. Finding Paolo in the crease, can't quite hold on, and picked up by Schiffel. Florida State getting it clear there across midfield. Still trying to figure out who to get the ball to. It'd be Gottlieb now setting up dodge to the left. His shot off the stick of Hoffman. Another save there for the senior goalie for Georgia. Now Zeman working over GLE. Walker, good sight on him, playing great defense. Moving it up top. Here's a shot and a score. That's Rothschild, the midfielder for Florida State. Able to extend this lead to 2 for the Seminoles.
2 quick goals off the rip. Ren, what do the Dogs have to do differently coming up at the end of this quarter?
Yeah, I mean, they need to definitely tie this thing up before the end of the first quarter. Still plenty of time. I thought they had some good momentum after the kill there. And overall, just setting up the offensive systems, I think, a little better. Haven't gotten a great shot off yet, other than maybe one from McLaughlin, but either way, a little more offensive pressure would be nice, as we have another face-off win here for Georgia. And Hoffman looking for a pass, finding Paolo across the field. So it'll be this first line of offensive midfielders. McLaughlin playing midfielder for today, along with Kevin Edwards and Ryan Allman. Now here's a dodge from Edwards. Pass across to Allman with a shot and score. Georgia's first goal of the game, put in by Ryan Allman, cuts this lead in half. And a face-off here, this time A.J. Peterson for the Dogs. He's able to scoop it up. And some equipment came off. A little unclear who it belongs to. So Georgia with the ball in their offensive end. It's Yarbrough with the ball up top. He'll be joined by Jack Weilant and Brendan Nolly. With Nolly up top, he's setting a dodge on Reen, the short stick defensive midfielder. Looking for a pass into the crease, can't quite connect, picked up by McMahon, the goalie for FSU. And McMahon looking for a pass. And getting it across the midfield line there is Garcia, the midfielder. And now in transition, a nice strip there from Price Johnson. Some more dodging here, and a shot and score. That's Tyler Morris answering back after Georgia got on the board. Makes it a 3-1 game here with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Face off here, Peterson for Georgia. And a bunch of pushing and bodies on the ground now. Able to get picked up by Chapman. The long stick. So Florida State once again in their offensive end of the field, seeming to have been successful on the last time they were in the offense. So setting up the dodge on Evan Saunders there. And picked up after the turnover. Heading the other way with it is Maglovsky. So Georgia there with a great defensive turnover. As once again it will be Nolly on the field along with Yarbrough and Anderson Nail. Here's Rory Kavanaugh looking for a pass up top, drawing the second defender. Perhaps a no call on the ward there. Rory still with it, his shot going high and out of bounds. Georgia still with it. Here's a shot there saved by the knees of McMahon. Heading the other way with it, Florida State on the ground. A chance for Yarbrough. Scoops up and it goes out of bounds. It will be FSU ball. Up top with Gottlieb, the very aggressive midfielder for Florida State. He'll look to dodge here as a flag flies. Picked up by Smith. So it will be too many men on the field for Georgia. For 30 seconds here, a man down. So the second man up chance for Florida State. They were unsuccessful their first time in this game. Still moving it around up top and around the outside. Looking for a pass to the backside. A shot there going way wide and out of bounds. Chase one by Georgia. And it's Smith with it, the long stick. Looking for a pass across the field there to Peach. Peach with no one on him for a pass and a save from McMahon after the shot from Paolo.
Coach, it's released. Q, you're good.
So Florida State with it on their end of the field. Once again, after a great save there from McMahon, keeping it 3-1 here. About 4 minutes to go. And it will go out of bounds. Georgia ball once again. So now Quinn Kavanaugh looking to clear it himself. Got a few different men on him. Taking some big hits there. And that's one thing Quinn Kavanaugh does so well, clear and take the big checks. So it's been back and forth here for the last couple minutes. Georgia once again with it. Will be the first line of midfielders. Here's McLaughlin dodging to his left over the top. A shot and score! Lee Butler.
What a snipe from Lee Butler. An absolute snipe into the corner.
Yeah, and a great setup there from McLaughlin. He was able to be patient and with a really nice dodge there over the top, able to find Butler and able to cut this lead to 1 here for Florida State. With 3:13 to go in this first quarter. Another face-off here won by Riley Wilson. Now down with Caleb Palo. He's looking to dodge. While both teams are still in a little bit of transition, he'll settle it down, however. In no rush to make a mistake. And a shot and score. Able to tie this thing up at 3. So able to tie this thing up here at 3. Another face-off. Picked up by A.J. Peterson. And they will call a ward on Peterson, and it will be Florida State ball. FSU dancing around, looking to get a shot off. Waiting for a pass into the crease, Zeman with the ball. Moving to his left, here's a shot, saved there by Hoffman. Or not saved, excuse me. Now down at X. And there will be a crease violation on Morris, and it will be Georgia ball. Now Georgia's in their offensive zone. About 1:05 to go here in the first quarter. 53 seconds on the shot clock. Here's McLaughlin. Bumping up against his defender. Here's a shot there. Poke check and picked up by McMahon. FSU with a full field to go. A great stop there by Kavanaugh, and getting it across midfield is Garcia. Now about 15 seconds to go here. Andrew Cook with the ball, dodging, moving it over. There's a shot there going wide.
The game clock should be at 8 seconds. You said it reset. Shot clock.
And so now here, time ticking off. One shot there. So that will do it from the first quarter here in a high emotion game between Georgia and Florida State. I'm Ren Grimsley, joined by Ron Sir. Want to thank you all for watching. We'll be back for second quarter action right here on the UJ Lacrosse YouTube channel. And we're back here for second quarter action here. As a push here results in Florida State ball right off the faceoff. And a great interception there from Quinn Cavanaugh. Gets it on the ground, picked up by Florida State. Moving it around. Here's a shot and score by FSU. Able to once again take the lead for the second time in this game. Now another face-off, this time won by Wilson. And a push here in the back. Wilson with the ball, so it will be a penalty. And a man-up opportunity for Georgia, the first of the game. It will be on Chapman here for 30 seconds. Now here, Georgia's offensive side. The first man-up chance of the game for Georgia. Here's a shot there and score. A man-up goal from Georgia ties the game at 4. Face off, ball down. It's a hold and white ball. As that was once again Wilson on the face off. And now Nolly with it. Moving it over with Weiland. He'll dodge over the top to his left, moving it to Paolo down at attack. Paolo, the shifty attackman, with a shot and score! Dogs taking the lead for the first time this game. As that was Caleb Paolo with his first goal of this game. Now a face-off picked up by Georgia. This time, Carter Smith, a shot and score! The long pole off the face-off. Carter Smith able to make this lead a 2-goal lead for Georgia. And a timeout from Florida State gets this Georgia bench amped. A lot of energy down here on the sideline, at least on the Georgia end. So both these teams will take a quick timeout, and so will we. We'll be back for more second quarter action right here on the UJ Lacrosse YouTube channel. So Georgia with the lead now for the first time. 13 minutes to go in this first half. It was tied at 3 at the end of the first quarter now, with 3 goals for Georgia.
A little bit of a chirp warning from the refs, trying to calm down the players before it gets too aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, this is postseason lacrosse. Figure there's going to be a lot of emotions, and lacrosse is kind of built on chirping a little bit. But here's a face-off win here from AJ Peterson, as he will get stripped, and now on FSU's offensive end of the field. FSU taking their time on offense, moving it around. Now can't handle the pass on the other end is Matthew Wyatt, the attackman. Now dodging. Here's a shot and score. Working off the screen there, and makes it a 6-5 game.
Georgia complaining about a possible moving pick, but with a shot like that afterwards, I don't know how much the pick affected that shot. That is a snipe.
Certainly got free, but he was free because of such a screen. Either way, making it 6-5 here as we continue on. A high-scoring bout so far between these two teams. Like I mentioned earlier, the final score is 19-11 in the last game, so both these offenses working hard here. Now a ball right in front of us, picked up there by Jacob Peach. And a shot and score there. Georgia answering right back. Butler there with a goal. Makes it a 7-5 game, making it 2 once again in terms of the lead for Georgia. Quickly back with a face-off here, won by Florida State, looking to move it in transition as they will settle it down. Zeman did not have the ball. I was faked out by the hidden ball trick there. Down at X, working over the top there, saved by Hoffman. That was Morris, the attackman. Heading the other end of the field, Quinn Kavanaugh. In transition, his shot going high and wide. And out of bounds, and the chase won by Florida State. So now heading the other way with Florida State. With the long pole. FSU still settling it. 37 seconds to go on the shot clock. Rothschild here, there with a shot and score right in front of the crease with no one on him. So one team scores, the other scores right back here. This whole game so far, 7-6 Georgia. However, Florida State led for pretty much that entire first quarter. On the face-off, everyone fighting for it. And able to get picked up there is Scott Chapman, the LSM, in his pass. Looking to pass it back, however, well, now another mishandled pass there from Dylan Casey. And it will be Florida State ball. Wind picking up here in Athens, at least where we are. Making some papers fly around. So after two turnovers, Florida State with it once again. Zeman working it up top. He'll look to shoot and score on a bouncing shot and ties this game up for the Seminoles. Ground ball about to roll out of bounds before getting picked up from Matthew Wyatt.
Reset to 80, please. Reset to 80.
So it will be FSU ball here on their own end.
Hey, who's hot? Let's get in.
FSU moving it around. Zeman with it up top where he scored from the last goal. Here's another shot there, this time saved by Hoffman. Finding Quinn Kavanaugh in the middle of the field, taking it over halfway before settling it down with Kevin Edwards. McLaughlin, been the big dodger for this team so far in this game. Here's a pass to Butler, behind the back, shot goes wide. Now back up top with McLaughlin, draws the double team. Here's a shot there going wide once again in the chase, won by Rory Kavanaugh. Here's a shot there by Paolo going way high. 23 seconds on the shot clock for Georgia. As Rory Kavanaugh with a pass there, a shot and score! Ryan Allman with a bar down goal takes the lead for Georgia 8-7. Could not have placed it much better there from Allman as it found that top corner.
Is that 2 for Ryan Allman or 3 now?
I believe that's 2 for Allman. Been a huge contributor all season, offensively. So the face-off here between Wilson and Chapman, won by FSU. Chapman, the LSM, taking the face-off and winning. Now Florida State with it, looking to get a quick goal here to tie it back up. So we are about halfway through the second quarter. So now Forrest dodging on Seidenberg. Before finding the pass, moving it around. Here's a shot there saved by Hoffman. The stick of Hoffman as he goes to his knees. Zeman with a shot going high and out of bounds. Chase won by Florida State. Drawing the double team there. That's Wyatt, the attackman. Right there in the crease, a shovel shot there saved by Hoffman. And a crease violation on Tyler Morris. It will be heading the other way. Hoffman moving it over to Tentel. Tentel looking to the pass. Nice catch there from Saunders. Saunders with a shot there that gets saved by McMahon. McMahon finding Garcia. Garcia moving it to the long stick. Edwards. For the ball flies out of bounds. Not quite, actually. And a flag here. It will be a delayed penalty on Georgia. Zeman with it at X. Taking their time, knowing that they'll have a man-up chance here as soon as Georgia gets possession of the ball. And there's a shot. Gets picked up by Hoffman before it ever makes it to him. So the penalty will be on Smith, the long stick midfielder for Georgia. This will be the third man-up chance here for FSU in this game. Florida State moving it around. Here's a shot from Gottlieb, saved by Hoffman. Some intense wind here. I hope it's not messing up the mic too much as Edwards takes it across the midfield line. So still man down. Georgia will call a timeout. Still man down and So with about 4.5 to go here in the second quarter, a quick timeout. Georgia in their offensive end will be right back for more second quarter action. I'm Ren Grimsley, joined by Ron Sir. So we're back for more second quarter action. Georgia up 8-7. Georgia still man down for the next few seconds here, as Edwards running it out. 10 seconds to go on the penalty. Up top with Almond, moving it over to McLaughlin. Here's a shot and score there from Georgia. Some scoreboard troubles here in Athens, as Georgia extends the lead. Face-off won by Georgia, picked up by Phil Seidenberg, looking to get rid of it, and a turnover there as FSU back with the ball. FSU moving around the perimeter. Here's Gottlieb dodging down his right. A shot there and score. Gottlieb able to cut the lead to 1 for this FSU team. So some early movement there from the face-off man for FSU. Means it will be Georgia ball, starting with Quinn Cavanaugh taking it. With McLaughlin moving it around. Here's Paolo down in the bottom right. Here's a shot there, saved by McMahon. Pretty good save there on a bounce shot from Paolo that had a ton of velocity on it. Finding Garcia there. He'll take it across midfield. Moving it to the center Still spinning it around for dodging on Robinette. Here's a shot there going wide from Stone Foster. Chase won by Zeman out of the back. Now Foster once again drawing the two-man, moving it to the left side, sending it way across the field. A shot and score there as a flag flies from Tyler Morris. As Tyler Morris will stay down.
Looks like they signaled a good goal. I hope he's okay.
Morris staying down for a little bit here as we have the athletic trainer. And it will be a good goal for Florida State. So there will be a flag on Georgia. It will be on number 24, Jacob Peach, the captain of this team.
White, 2-4. Direct contact to the head. 2 minutes. Full time.
It will be a 2-minute unreleasable here on Peach. So a long man-up chance here for Georgia, or excuse me, for FSU. So that will take up, this penalty will take up the entirety of the rest of this quarter as well as 5 seconds of the next half. Gottlieb with it up top, moving it over. Back to Gottlieb up top. Still spinning it between the top three midfielders for FSU. Moving it down to attack with Zeman. Zeman working up top. Looking for a pass across the field. A shot there going wide by Wyatt. FSU winning the chase, bringing it in from the back line. Spinning it around. Here's a shot from Zeman there, right into the stick of Hoffman. As Georgia still with about a minute to kill on this man up for Florida State. They'll look to move it in transition with Tentel, moving it over to Kavanaugh on the wing. About 45 seconds to go here in this first half. Georgia taking their time, obviously still man down. There will be a timeout for Georgia here with about 20 seconds to go. And 24 seconds to go on the penalty to Peach, which will extend into the second half. So we'll be back for the final 16 seconds here in this first half. So 19 seconds to go in this first half. Georgia still man down. So with very, very short time here, it's looking like Georgia's just going to let the clock run out. Over in the corner with Paolo. And now Paolo's making a move here. Running across the field. And that will do it for the first half here. We have a tied game, 9-9 between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida State Seminoles here in Athens, Georgia. I'm Ren Grimsley, joined by Ron Sir. We'll be back for second half action here on the UJ Lacrosse YouTube channel. So we're back for third. Here's a shot there. Saved by Paolo. Excuse me, saved by McMahon. Paolo with the shot. And that will do it for the penalty on Georgia from that first half. Georgia started with the ball in the third quarter because they had possession at the end of half. And anytime there's a man in the box, that is the rule. So that is why there was no face-off to start this second half. One thing got to be mindful of is that Tucker Hoffman, the goalie for Georgia, is staring directly into the sun right now, and it will be the same for McMahon when they switch sides going into the fourth quarter. So on the wing now with it looking to dodge. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock as Forrest draws the second man. Here with a shot there and a score. Gets through the legs of Hoffman for a 5-hole goal, makes it a 10-9 game. Florida State taking the lead once again. So lots of chirping still going on between these two teams. As another face-off here won by Georgia. As Carter Smith will give it to Hoffman, the goalie. Hoffman with a dot there to Philip Seidenberg. Holding onto it and keeping it in the offensive zone. Picked up by Schiffel, the long stick for FSU. So now dodging down the left alley is Andrew Cook, moving it to X. Looking for Zeman there, a shot and score. Zeman finding that low corner makes it a 2-goal lead for FSU. So FSU coming out of halftime hot, getting 2-0 so far in goals. As another face-off here between Chapman and Wilson. Wilson able to pick it up before getting double-teamed there. Falling down, and there will be a flag, presumably on FSU. So we will get the call right here from the ref.
7-7. Hold. 30 seconds. Penalty will be out of 12 minutes.
So it will be a hold on Chapman, the long stick, for 30 seconds. Georgia will start with it in their offensive zone with Edwards. Moving it to Kavanaugh on the wing. Down to Paolo at X. Back up to Kavanaugh. There's a shot there. And scoring. Looked like it hit off the side of the goal, but a quick goal there from Georgia. And Rory Kavanaugh makes it a 11-10 game. And a face-off here won by Georgia once again. And a big hit there. Peach getting it to Edwards on a little ground ball pass. Some finesse there from the captain. And also my downstairs neighbor. There's Paolo down at X, looking to dodge over GLE. With a pass across the defense to McLaughlin. There's a shot there saved by McMahon. It's Butler with a quick shot there. And there should be a shot clock reset. However, no call for it from the refs. Almond on the wing. Getting pushed down to behind GLE. Moving up to McLaughlin, who can't handle the pass. However, Edwards there with 13 seconds to go on the shot clock. Edwards with a long dodge. A shot there going high as it gets poked. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. And Georgia will let the shot clock run out and get their defensive midfielders on the field. It's now Florida State with a full field to clear. That's Garcia. He's done a lot of clearing for this FSU team this game, taking it across the midfield line, being guarded by the short defensive midfielder Saunders. Moving it to Moltisanti, who gets it to Gottlieb. Gottlieb to Forrest. So Zeman with it, the most dangerous offensive player on this FSU team at X. Being guarded by Kavanaugh. And now a save there as it was a shovel shot. Hoffman able to get a stick on it. Now Quinn Kavanaugh with a few guys there as he gets across the midfield line. Still taking some big checks. It will be Edwards, Alman, and McLaughlin, the offensive midfielders here, as McLaughlin setting up a dodge to his left. Tries to get it to Butler. Butler able to scoop it out after the missed pass. There's a shot there and score! Lee Butler with the assist from McLaughlin ties this game up. So Georgia now with 11 goals, which is what they finished with in the last game against FSU. However, FSU had 19 at that point, so much better performance from these dogs in this game. Face-off here quickly won by FSU. That's Ferber, the Fogo. So he won the face-off. We'll now do the getting off part. Up top with Gottlieb. Now with Forrest up top. Forrest dodging. With a shot there and saved by Hoffman. They pass picked up by Seidenberg. A shovel pass to Peach. Can't quite hold on and heading the other way. The long stick there, Edwards, who loses his stick. FSU still with the ball taking it across midfield. It's now Farquhar. First time we've seen him with the ball this game, and it gets a double team from Smith, who's able to strip the ball. Great awareness there from Smith. And Carter now getting pushed there from Gottlieb. Ball down. Still fighting for it, and Gottlieb taking another man to the ground. Gottlieb heading the other way with it, finding a pass and score. Dean Rothschild with the assist from Gottlieb. Good play by Gottlieb there if you ignore the warding. And Rothschild able to net one in there as we have another face-off. And a face-off win from FSU, still in transition. Shot and score. And an FSU man down on the field. So up and moving is Ferber, the Fogo, who went down on the field a minute ago. And quick pickup there by Schiffel. And another FSU man down, but quickly back up. A little bit of a premature whistle, as that was Jose David Castillo Batista, the Fogo, in place for Ferber. So ball stripped, picked up by Hoffman. Finding Kavanaugh in the middle of the field. He's got a long way to go before that halfway. Taking some big checks. Taking a big hit there. That will be a penalty for sure, as Kavanaugh was getting the ball to Nolly. So here's Rory Kavanaugh with a shot there, saved by McMahon. And a man-up chance after a big hit there from Chapman on Quinn Kavanaugh. However, Quinn quickly able to get back up, as I was not sure he was going to get up there for a second. So it'll be a 2-minute unreleasable here, which we saw happen to Georgia at the end of that first half. So 2 minutes here for man up for Georgia, unreleasable. So if they score, it will still be man up for the entirety of the 2 minutes. So up top here, man up with Kavanaugh. Here's a shot there going wide and out of bounds. Georgia winning the chase up top with McLaughlin. McLaughlin moving it to Kavanaugh on the wing. Up top with McLaughlin after a mishandled pass. 25 seconds to go on the shot clock. And a behind-the-back pass, I believe, to Palo. However, does not find its way. And a long clear there with Hancock. So with Zeman up top as they'll hope to run out the rest of this penalty. Now looking for a pass into the crease, can't quite connect. FSU able to come up with it despite being man down. And that will do it for the penalty on Chapman. So Georgia, 2-minute unreleasable penalty with nothing to show for it. Still 13-11 here. Pass way across the field. The shot there saved by Hoffman. And a fight for it down low. FSU coming up with it. Now at X. With Gottlieb at X being guarded by Peach. With Cook, he'll work over the top to his right, moving it back to Forrest. Forrest drawing the second defender, getting stripped there. Able to pick it back up, and a timeout here called by FSU. So FSU up 2 there after a great stop defensively, and we will be right back for the end of the third quarter here on the UJ Lacrosse YouTube channel. So FSU with the ball in their offensive end. 41 seconds to go on the shot clock. As it's on the wing now with Wyatt. Here's a shot going way wide and out of bounds. About 24 seconds on the shot clock. With Gottlieb at X, taking some checks before moving it up to Wyatt. Wyatt looking for a pass in the crease. There's a shot and score. Dean Rothschild once again extending this lead for FSU to the largest of the day, 14-11. Now face off here quickly, won by Peterson. However, ball falls down. Chapman, the big check there, and some more big hits there. And a broken stick by Peterson as he quickly gets off the field. Quinn Cavanaugh with the ball, looking to get rid of it. He'll find Alman. And Alman now looking in the crease, shot and score. Alman answering after many unanswered goals there from Florida State. Cutting into this lead, making it 14-12. Now face off here from Wilson, who got his arm stuck. However, ground ball picked up by Johnson, who gets it over to Wilson in transition. Palo taking a big hit there. Ball comes loose. And a loose ball push will make it a Georgia ball. So Alman, Edwards, and McLaughlin on the field for the Dogs. On the wing with Cavanaugh. He'll look for a pass at X. McLaughlin with no one on him, and saved there by McMahon. Looking for a quick shot. And now getting across the midfield, however, taking some big checks is Garcia. Ball coming loose, picking it back up. So Forrest working across, shot and score, gets past Hoffman. And with a minute to go, FSU up 15-12. Now face off here picked up and a push to Wilson. So it'll be a Georgia ball as a push in the back there. Seidenberg with it. Finding Yarbrough and getting off the field. Gets Weilant on the field as well as Nolly. About 35 seconds here. Rory Cavanaugh, another great save there by McMahon. And now, not much time left to go in this third quarter. FSU, so you hear the countdown. Matthew Wyatt with the ball. And a missed pass there. And that will do it for the third quarter. And some tensions between these two teams, man. It is getting chippy out here. So we got one more quarter to go. Your score, FSU 15, Georgia 12. We will be back for the final 15 right here on the UJ Lacrosse YouTube channel. I'm Ren Grimsley, joined by Ron Sir. We have the final 15 minutes here in Athens, Georgia, between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida State Seminoles. Right now, FSU up 3. Still anybody's game here, as it has been back and forth all game. And an early movement there from Bautista, so it will be white ball. Excuse me, Georgia ball. So Nolly with the ball. He'll move it down to the attack with Paolo. Paolo, the small, shifty attackman, gets a shot and score right over the stick of McMahon. And Georgia Energy picks up here, as it is definitely within reach. Only a 2-goal game with about 14 and a half to go.
An absolute yap sesh in the comment section of the live, but we're still alive here today, coming at you from Athens, Georgia.
And on the face-off here, Schiffel picking it up. Forrest with the ball, moving it up to Morris. Now with Gottlieb. FSU still moving it around. On the wing with Foster. Excuse me. That is Wyatt, the attackman. Here's Gottlieb in the crease. Shot off the stick of Hoffman and into the goal. So Georgia answering 30 seconds into this fourth quarter, and FSU answering right back. 16-13. 13 and a half to go. And a quick face-off win there from A.J. Peterson. Peterson escaping trouble right there on the sideline and finding Evan Saunders, who will get it to Nolly, and Peterson and Saunders will exit the field. So Nail now top right, working off the screen from Butler, moving it to Butler. Working around. Ball coming loose. Picked up by Kavanaugh. And here's a shot and a score. And a late hit there on Rory Kavanaugh. Flags fly. It will be an and one, and Georgia now with a man-up chance here after cutting the lead to 2. So Georgia will start with the ball, no face-off, as the penalty occurred after the play. So Georgia now with a chance here to cut the lead to 1. 12:48 to go in the game. Georgia man up Moving it to Kavanaugh, who took the penalty at the end of the last play. Still with Kavanaugh on the wing. Rory Kavanaugh moving up top. Moving down to X with Paolo. Back to X with Paolo. Paolo working over GLE. A shot there saved by McMahon. Now looking to clear it there. It's FSU getting a failure to advance on FSU. They could not get it across. Oh, excuse me, an over and back call. And now another flag flies here. As we will get the call from the ref. 10.
Delay of game, 30-second foul.
So it'll be a penalty on Rothschild, who has a couple goals this game. So Georgia 2-man up for 10 seconds before the first penalty expires, and then 20 more seconds a man up where the second penalty will expire. And that will expire the first penalty. Georgia unable to get a shot off so far.
11:28.
Not much time here on this man up for Georgia. So Georgia will not get a single shot off in the entire man up chance. Ball loose, fighting for it. Picked up by FSU. That's Hancock, the defenseman for FSU, picking it up and getting into FSU's offensive end. So perhaps what would have been a great chance there for Georgia to cut it to 1. They are unable to get a shot off. So 10:55 left in the game. Now Gottlieb dodging with a shot there and a score. So a face-off here won by Georgia. Looking to get a pass there. Intercepted by Chapman. And the ball off the stick of Chapman as it rolls out of bounds. It will be Georgia ball. So Brendan Nolly will take it across the midfield line. Now with Paolo working over GLE. Passing up top to Yarbrough. With Paolo again. Looking to work his way inside. Gets hit to the ground. Ball coming loose. Picked up by FSU and heading the other way. FSU with the ball in their offensive end. Up 3 goals here. 9.5 to go in the game. And with no one on him, a shot and a score. as Matthew Wyatt able to extend this lead once again, making it 18-14 FSU. Face off here, a big hit there on Bautista, the Fogo, and it will be a push in the back, and it will be FSU ball. Up top with Forrest. He will dodge on Quinn Kavanaugh. Great defense there by Kavanaugh. Now with Zeman. They're saved by Hoffman. And a big hit there results in a penalty. And some words exchanged there between two players, as another flag flew after that. So it looks like the refs will have some stuff to discuss here.
Unnecessary roughness, 1 minute. I have, where'd he go? Red 4, Red 4-6. Unsportsmanlike conduct, 1 minute. They both start on the same tick of the clock. He ran up and told him to go. That is our job. In addition, both fouls are now non-releasable because they begin on the same tick of the clock. We are 5-on-5 for 1 minute. Penalty releases at 7:32. Reset shot clock.
Well, you heard the ref there. 2 1-minute penalties, 1 on each team, both unreleasable. So it will be 5-on-5 here. So it looks like Georgia will start with the ball up top. Kevin Edwards. Now here's Rory Kavanaugh up top with a long dodge, moving it to Butler. Up top to McLaughlin. McLaughlin's shot going wide. What looked like a shot there goes off some sticks, picked up by FSU. A long pass there to Clem, the defender. And now fighting for it down low, picked up by FSU, and with a transition opportunity. And with no one on him, Morris able to find the back of the net. making it 19 goals for FSU, what they finished with in the last matchup between these two teams.
6 more seconds.
So halfway through this fourth quarter, face off there picked up by Chapman, and that will do it for the penalties to both the players. So even strength, 6 on 6. FSU with the ball in their offensive end up top with Zeman, being guarded by Smith, the LSM.
Yeah, it's been released.
And a shot here and a score, basically jumping over the crease. So Georgia will call a timeout as FSU scores again, and things are going all Seminoles in this fourth quarter. We'll be right back for the final 6.5 right here on the Lacrosse YouTube channel. So 6.5 to go in the game. So it has been pretty much all Seminoles in this fourth quarter. And a face-off picked up by FSU, but quickly getting stripped. And with Schiffel, down low at GLE, being guarded by Tentel. That's Matthew Wyatt. Up top with Gottlieb now. Dodging down the alley, tripping, falling down, getting a pass off. That's Farquhar. And a shot and score. Makes it 21-14. You'd think it was football. It's only lacrosse. And looks like a delay of game here will make it Georgia ball. And so it is 21-14, a football score. If we recall, the last time Georgia and FSU played football against each other, it, well, let's just say it didn't go FSU's way. Lad McConkey is feared in the state of Florida. And a save there from McMahon. Looking to clear here. It's the long stick. That's Vinny Lane getting a pass off and getting off the field. With Garcia moving it to Niles. Getting some new faces in there. Here's Cook dodging on Kavanaugh. Still moving it around, 30 seconds on the shot clock for FSU. And right there on the crease, unable to hold on to the pass. Fighting for it on the ground, 20 seconds on the shot clock. With Rothschild, pass across. Shot doesn't make it to Hoffman, and picked up by Carter Smith heading the other way for Georgia. And now across the midfield line. And a shot there going way out as it went off the body of Tennell. FSU taking their time here, 40 seconds on the shot clock. That's some 31 on 31. That's Forrest being guarded by Saunders. And now a pass across. Shot there saved by Hoffman. Getting it to Saunders, who takes it across midfield line in transition for Georgia. Looking for a pass to Butler, unable to hold on to it. Probably the sun got into his eyes. And an easy clear there for FSU. Garcia with it, looking for a pass. And a shot there going wide. And a pass over the head there. As Morris there losing the ball. Georgia picking it up. Looking to work in transition here. Quinn Kavanaugh. A few different guys on him, shooting and scoring. With 2.5 to go here in the game. Now here's a face-off. Picked up. And getting thrown to the ground there is Wilson. It will be a hold and Georgia ball. So Georgia with the ball after the hold on FSU. It will start with Kevin Edwards right in front of the midfield line. Finding McLaughlin. Now Kavanaugh on the wing, cutting back. Here's a shot off the face mask of McMahon. Now finding Cook, still got to get across midfield. Taking quite a bit of time. And that will be a failure to advance on FSU. 1:40 to go in the game. It will be Georgia ball at midfield line. Now a quick pass there. Stripped and picked up by McLaughlin. However, his stick coming loose. And it will be FSU ball. Just under a minute and a half to go. Now Zeman taking a big check there, drawing a flag. 45 seconds on the shot clock. Zeman still running it around before moving it over to Rothschild. And Huber stripping the ball free. Fighting for it on the sideline, keeping it in. And 17 seconds on the shot clock here. Not much more time than that on the game clock. And with no one on him, a behind the back shot. And there's chanting going on. I don't see the Braves anywhere. So it will be a penalty on Quinn Kavanaugh.
FSU ending the game with the moral capacity of what I could only assume a toddler would be doing better with. I believe that's a bench penalty, or maybe a penalty on us.
So now another penalty, this time on Scott Chapman for unsportsmanlike. I still don't see the Braves anywhere, but they keep chanting like they're here.
Number 4 hitting what I believe is an attempt at the gritty, an unsuccessful one, but it's a try at least.
And the ball going out of bounds. As clock about to tick off on this game. And one last effort there. And that will do it.
A sad, sad way to potentially end the season.
Well, that'll do it here from Athens, Georgia, as your score 21-15. FSU coming out on top. We want to thank you all for joining us here on the Lacrosse YouTube channel. It's been a fun one here this season. And that'll do it. I want to thank you all for watching. I'm Ren Grimsley, joined by Ron Sir. Chat's